Hello and welcome back to another episode of Urban Informatics Over Coffee. This is episode 4 of series 2. You might be wondering what happened to episode 3, but you'll understand when that episode eventually comes to light. So skip coffee number 3, go to coffee number 4, and we'll dive into a bit of a sideways topic to urban informatics, but this is Premiere Pro Basics. So I'm going to step you through how to get from A to B in Premiere Pro if you weren't sure how to get the most out of it with minimum effort. So the first thing we're going to do when we open up Premiere Pro, your layout with what Premiere Pro gives you could look a lot different. And you can also accidentally just move things around and things can go missing. So it can get a bit messy. If we come to the top right hand corner, we have a thing called Workspaces. I like effects. That generally has everything I need to do the basics. The first thing you're going to need is your content, your video content. You can pull in anything, photos, videos, but to support whatever you're making, you can also bring in external stuff. So if you Google free to use music or royalty-free music, you can get options where you can source music that doesn't have any copyright in it. So you can upload it to platforms like YouTube, no problem. I like Ben's sound. It doesn't require any sort of login and you just press free download and it downloads. Press free music up the top and it will show you just what's free rather than everything. And you can also get royalty-free videos and photos, which is also really good. And I like pixels. Make sure you're on videos if you want videos, and then you can just search anything. Say you wanted a general video of Berlin, it'll show up with all these options. So if you press on something that looks good, it'll show you a preview once it loads. And then if you're happy, you can just press free download. That'll go to your downloads folder and you can donate to the content contributor if you want, but you don't have to. You can just press out of it, go back and keep browsing. So back to Premiere Pro, I've already got a few things set up. So I've got some of my own videos that I've just grabbed from my collection and a couple imported ones as well from Bexels. So down here is where you'll find everything you import. If you right click and press new bin, a bin is just a folder for organizing your stuff because you can end up with thousands of audio and footage, and it's just best to kind of stay on top of it as much as you can. And you can import things into Premiere Pro just by dragging into this area over here and it'll show up. If you delete something from here that is in your timeline, it'll also delete it from your timeline, like so. So we're just going to quickly make a simple little video. We'll start with this nice birthday footage that I have. So you just drag it from your bins onto your timeline and it'll place the video footage on a visual track and the audio footage on an audio track. Naturally, these come in linked. So if I cut one, it cuts the other and vice versa. To fix this, say you just wanted the video or the audio, you can right click and press unlink, and now you can select one or the other, and you can delete one or the other as well. So on the right hand side, you have like a list of effects that you can apply to what you're doing, as well as some basic editing tools. And on the left here, you have your animation pane, which is this one here, and you have your effect controls, so where most of the editing happens here, and over here you're just applying things to edit is one way to look at it. So I have this video of people blowing out candles on a cake. So I'm going to first cut what I don't want away, and for example, if I wanted something cut out of the middle, I can use this razor tool here and just slice it, go back to the selection tool and delete the middle, and then I can move these across. So if I play that now, you'll see that there was a cut in the middle. But we don't want that, so I'm just going to undo all of that with Control Z, and I'm going to cut some of this front half off as well. There we go. To make this a bit more interesting, say we wanted to center these people with this clip selected, I can double click here and you can see a box appears, and I can just move this image around and zoom it out until the subjects are mostly centered. But as you see as well, the bigger you make it in the frame, the less quality it is. But we're just going to ignore that for now. To make it more interesting again, I'm going to add some video effects. So if I press this drop down under video effects, and say I want to correct the color and I want brightness and contrast, I'll drag brightness and contrast on top of the clip, and you can see it appears over here for me to edit. I also want to edit the color balance, and it appears over here as well. So now, kind of like how you would edit a photo in Photoshop, I can edit this video. If I wanted to increase the brightness, I can just press and hold on the number and then move my mouse left or right. I think I might actually make it a bit darker, but increase the contrast to make the people in the foreground pop a bit more. And I can press this eye tool and it will hide the adjustment layer. So you can see it does pop just that little bit more. And again, an example, color balance can make your videos just that little bit more appealing to look at. So it has shadow, midtone, and highlight balances, so it'll change that range. So shadows are usually cool, so I might increase the blues, decrease the reds, whereas the highlights are warmer, so we'll increase the red balance in the highlights, maybe also the green just for fun, and decrease the blues. But because there's a lot of dark and light, it might be a bit hard to see it in this one actually, so I'm gonna push it to the extreme, and again I can hide this layer to see the changes, and that'll apply to the whole video. Say we had another one here, just drag it in as well. Unlink this because I don't want the audio again. Cut it down to size. Instead of working these out again, you can actually control copy this, go to the one you want to paste it, and then control V it, and it will apply the exact same settings to this clip as well. This will usually work best if you have cuts in the same scene rather than across scenes, because the lighting will change, so the same edits won't apply. I'll go back and add some of these imported ones as well, of these people in a boat in Venice. See how I moved? I cut this clip, so there's now a big space in the middle, or this could happen at the start, or this could happen in the middle as well. If you press on that blank space and just press delete, it'll move everything beyond it forward rather than you having to manually drag bits and pieces. Okay, I now have a smorgasbord of clips with no sound. I'm going to drag this Dreams that I downloaded, which is royalty free. This bar down the bottom lets you scroll, but it also lets you zoom in and out, like so, by pressing on the circles at the end to change how much you can see at any one time. So I'm going to zoom out and bring this audio clip all the way back to what I have here. And if I play that now, not a bad effort for something that has no correlation to anything. So the next step on my little video is to add some text. So this is simple. You just press on the type tool over here, and in your preview frame, drag a box and literally just start typing. And this video is going to be titled Amazing Video. So you can go back to your selection tool. You can move this around, change the size of the text box. Over here you can have certain controls, but also in Essential Graphics here you have some controls as well. So it'll let you align your text, so it'll align to the center and to the center on both axes, and change your text box as well to be centered text and then centered in the text box. So everything's in the middle, you know it's in the middle. You can change your font. Let me select it first. I'm going to change it to this one. I'm also going to change the size and the color. If I press on this eyedrop tool, I can just literally anywhere on the screen, I will pick up the color, and I want it Premiere Pro light purple. Done. Stroke on and off, as well as things like a shadow. If I added a white shadow, make it a bit smaller, make it a bit more opaque, or less opaque I should say, you can see that it drops a visual track for the graphic, so you can edit this the same way you would edit a clip. The next thing, to finish off this video real quickly, is you can add transition, both audio transitions and visual transitions. So starting with the audio, going to quickly just drop a constant grain fade on the end of this song because I cut it off before it finished. So now it'll fade away. I might even make it go for a bit longer. And then in video transitions, you can never go wrong with a cross dissolve. So I'll add that in here, make it a bit longer. I might drop the same thing in between all of these, but you can mix it up. You don't have to have the same transition throughout an entire video. You can just have clean cuts, you can have wipes, irises, but the cross dissolve and just a straight cut are quite stock standard. Here I might as well add another video transition dissolve. I'm going to add dipped black to the front. And a cross dissolve to the end of my video as well. Beautiful. It's exactly how I want it. I'm done. You can now go up to export, and it's really simple to just export it. For YouTube, use H.264. It also just generally works for anything, but it will export the video in the YouTube standard ratio, and press location for somewhere to save it. I'll save it as amazing video. Save. That's all you have to do. Choose the format, choose where to save it, what it's called, and then just come down to the right hand corner and export. Depending on how many effects and how long the video is, it may take a while to render, but this video is super short, so it'll be super quick. And now I go to where I saved that, here. And that is super easy. Now it'll be Inception when I import this screen grab into Premiere Pro to edit it to then upload this video to YouTube. I hope you enjoyed coffee number 4, but I'll catch you in the next video. Is it going to be 3 or 5? I don't know. See you then.